On this episode of WWE ECW, we re-explore the moment where Hardcore Holly splits open his back, and all of us growing up remember seeing it in the Don't Try This at Home PSAs that WWE would put out. Without further ado, we're here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and your main event of the evening will be the Blue Collar Hero, the Sandman, will be taking on the Big Show for his ECW World Championship. Our opening segment involves none other than good old JR, who was feeling super good to be back in Oklahoma. JR says thank you to Taz and Joey Styles for inviting him here, but there's some confusion as they both don't recall inviting him. This allows Matt Striker to interrupt our legend with his stupid ass short ass tie. He snatches the mic from JR.
Nice tie.
Striker says that JR and the fans lack education, and he says that Ross is blue collared. Striker then says JR probably indulges in alcoholic beverages, and he calls JR an old man and then insults JR's hat. The Sandman then appears to save us after the unforgivable sin of making fun of JR's hat. The Sandman's about to whack the fuck out of Striker before JR gives the go-ahead. The Sandman then hands off the Singapore King to Jim Ross, and Jim Ross whacks Striker in the back with it. Fuck yeah, JR. To add on top of it, the Sandman gives JR a cold one before he gives a toast to the new ECW champion, the Sandman, as they slug them beers back to start off the show. Great opening segment, honestly. We return from the break.
My name?
Anyway, we head to the ring for our first match of the evening, and Hardcore Holly takes on Rob Van Dam in an Extreme Rules match. Shout out to this guy bombing Rob Van Dam's entrance. The ring is already wet from the toast earlier as RVD hits a DDT and a big roundhouse into the corner. Rob Van Dam with the back spring off of Holly, he hits a big super kick and then hits a rough looking clothesline. RVD does his taunt, but Holly yanks him and they take the fight to the outside. Van Dam counters Holly's suplex attempt by hanging him out to dry on the barricade and then hits his signature leg drop off the apron. Rob whips out the lumber and the crowd starts chanting for tables, which I don't know why, it's already there. But Holly stops RVD setting it up and slams him face first into the steps. Titty chop from Holly, RVD goes face first into the corner post. This match builds for a little. Holly goes onto the apron where Rob Van Dam then gets his ponytail yanked. Holly then pulls RVD on the apron as they try to jockey for position. Holly delivers a huge suplex to the floor through the table as we cut to commercials. We come back and holy fucking shit.
And then you see a gash. Oh my God, look at that gash.
Hardcore Holly has been attacked by a pterodactyl. Obviously, I can't show this in its entirety, but it's a clear cut across Holly's back. It just looks absolutely painful. Taz explains that he thinks that the frame popped up on the table and cut into Holly, which, looking at the replays, yeah, the frame definitely pops up and it's in perfect position where the gash would be. Back to the match, Bob grabs a chair and sets it up in the middle of the ring. Holly then gives Van Dam a snake eyes on his throat onto it. Holly sets the chair on Rob's face, climbs the middle rope, and then hits a leg drop on Van Dam's skull. God damn, I guess that was Rob's receipt, but he only gets a 2 off this. Holly looks to suplex Rob onto the chair. Rob is able to fight this off and reverse into his own suplex. Rob then starts hitting the comeback before hitting a rolling thunder into a monkey flip, and then hits the diving Van Daminator. Rob tries to crawl for the pinfall, but Holly is still alive, and RVD gives him the chair dropkick in the corner. RVD sits the chair onto Holly, and then delivers the rolling thunder. Holly somehow gets the shoulder up at 2. Van Dam grabs the chair again, monkey flips, and lets go of the chair. Holly then catches Rob with a jackknife powerbomb, and somehow Rob kicks out. Rob sets the chair on Holly's chest and dives for the frog splash, but Holly just decks Van Dam with the chair midair, and holy shit, Rob is down. Alabama slam incoming, but Rob just rolls onto the mat. Holly picks up a chair and eats a dropkick from Rob. Rob then hops to the top and nails the 5-star frog splash. Rob has to crawl over, but he perseveres and scores a 3 in this awesome Extreme Rules match. The whole back injury aside, this was a very solid Extreme Rules match for WWE ECW in 2006. Probably one of the best openers that this show has had. Hardcore Holly also gets his ribs taped up and gets a standing ovation after the match, and I think this is probably Holly's best match I've ever seen.
Give it up for Hardcore Holly, no doubt.
Backstage, we got Phil, and he explains how he is a straight-edge superstar and he's addicted to the competition. He wants to face Rob Van Dam, Sabu, Sandman, The Big Show.
Hi, punk.
Yeah.
Kelly is here and she explains how she is only 19, and even though she can't go to a casino, she needs some practice playing strip poker. This is a man that wrote this. Mike Knox appears and keeps Kelly away from Punk as Phil tells him to build a higher fence because she's trying to get in my yard. Phil eggs him on, but Knox is a bitch and says he's going to straighten Kelly out. Whatever the fuck that means, as CM Punk tells Knox he better be ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Back to ringside, and we see Ariel alongside her vampire boyfriend Kevin Thorne as she competes in the extreme cat fight against ECW legend Francine.
Yeah.
Ariel has
hate when you do that.
Francine rips off Ariel's top and hair whips her as Kevin then gets in the ring and holds Francine up as Ariel starts booting her in the ribs. Balls Mahoney randomly appears and guts Storm with the chair that says "your head here," and then clonks him on the head to lead the cat fight to a no contest. Paul Heyman is backstage with some Riot guys and the ECW champion, Big Show, as Paul tries to give Paul some advice. Big Show understands and says if Sandman tries to hit him with the cane, he's going to turn him into a popsicle.
What do you mean by that?
Show says to keep the boys back here, as he says that the Singapore cane will be legal to use in the main event that is up next. It was at this moment I took a drink of my Coca-Cola, looked away from my monitor, and looked back to...
Hey, I'm Renee Dupree, most extreme athlete in the history of ECW.
Oh, hell no!
I think his name's Stephen Hawking. Fuck him till he ain't walking.
Anyway, time for the main event, and ECW World Champion, The Big Show, comes out first, breaking tradition, and he defends his championship against the Sandman, with the Singapore cane being legal to use in this match. Big Show keeps his head on a swivel as Sandman appears in the crowd chugging a beer amongst the masses, and Big Show looks like he shit his pants. We come back from commercial and Sandman is whacking the hell out of Big Show's vertebrae with the Singapore cane. He chops down the big redwood to the outside and then whacks him upside the head against the stairs. Sandman whacks Show in the head again and now both men are bleeding. Sandman covers Show but Big Show tosses him off. Joey Styles says on commentary that Hardcore Holly has required 24 stitches for that absolute gash on his back.
Please do not try this at home.
And then Big Show gives Sandman a titty chop, and then another, one for each titty. Sandman pokes Show in the eye, which causes Show to drool, and he hits a shoulder block. Show kicks the cane out of the way, and then full right hands Sandman in the skull, and starts yelling to the crowd in his own language. Sandman fires back on the Big Show, but Show googles him for the chokeslam. Sandman then reverses with a DDT, and then grabs his weapon of choice and whacks Show in the head a few times, and then hits a diving cane shot on the Show's skull. Sandman may have tweaked his knee as Big Show throws him off it too. Matt Striker yoinks Sandman's cane at ringside as Show then lays out Sandman again with the block. He then rips Sandman's shirt and then locks in like a Cobra Clutch backbreaker. And then he holds onto the choke and he pulls Sandman up and drops him with the showstopper to retain the ECW World Championship. Big Show talks to the fans and laughs maniacally as our show concludes, and this is what happened on the episode of ECW where Hardcore Holly got eviscerated by a table.